Friends, it is day 4 of the Doom 24th history stream. I'm getting excited. This is so fun. We have a special guest with us today. You might know him as a Space Quest historian. But go ahead, introduce yourself. Who are you, and what are you doing on this stream?
I am the Space Quest historian. You probably don't know me, and I have no idea. I play adventure games mostly over on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/spacequesthistorian. Adventure games, languid games, narrative-driven games, all this love and fun you get from just like reading a book or watching a movie at your own pace. So here I am, playing Doom, about to get my ass handed to me. How are you, Alexander?
Doing great today. And forgive me, I know we were saying the name, the pronunciation. Your name is... Go ahead, pronounce it for me the way it should be said so that when I butcher it like an American, that...
All right, cool. My name in Danish is Troels. Have fun with that. But most people call me Trolls, and I'm also very fine with that.
So, Trolls here plays adventure games just like we do on our stream. We love adventure games, that's why he's here. But... he doesn't just play a little bit and then go on to the next game. He plays them all the way through.
Yeah,
what's the last one you're working on?
Sorry?
What was the last one that you were working on?
The last one I played was actually Observer by what are those guys called? The same guys who made Layers of Fear. The cyberpunk thing with Rutger Hauer turning into a big hulking machine and... all sorts of fun for the whole family.
Yeah, cyberpunk adventure games. We got to play another one on Human Interact stream here soon. So
yeah,
and obviously you're the Space Quest historian, so you probably don't go very far without playing at least a Sierra adventure game.
Oh yeah, definitely. I am actually playing my way through the entire Space Quest series because I hit 300 subscribers. I don't know, was that like a year ago or something? And then I started playing through the entire series to celebrate that I got 300 subscribers. And then one day, a certain YouTuber of some renown gave me a shout out, and all of a sudden I went from 300 to 1,400, and it just kept climbing from there. So like, okay, holy shit. Now I guess I gotta do a good job as well. Damn.
And now you have to play Doom with us every year.
Now I have to, but it's not like I haven't played Doom in a while. I mean, you were on my celebratory 2,000 subscriber ass kicking with Anatoly.
Yeah.
Very recently, in fact, a couple of weeks ago, I think.
Yeah. And tell you what, we've actually created our own server here, which you in the audience can join along with. I'm going to go ahead and jump in here. And it's got some pretty cool music. This map has been done a little bit differently. These maps were made in 2009 through a group called Unidoom. And this is the UDMX WAD file. And it's got 32 levels of heart-pumping deathmatch action. And just like we were discussing yesterday, all the good Doom maps are set up like a circle. And I would imagine that all but 2 of these maps are set up like a really good circle.
One of them set up like a square.
Well, that's the thing.
Like a hedron.
You can run so fast in Doom.
Yeah, and, which is another blow against me. Anything. I mean, I'm a Mario kind of guy, not a Sonic kind of guy. So when things go way too fast, I turn into a little ball of anguish. But it's going to be okay. See, I just want to get any wrong impression. I have played a lot of Doom. I mean, I grew up in the 90s, early 90s. I was a teenager in 1993. So we used to play a lot of Doom over serial cable, old school motherfucker.
Yeah, we were just talking about that. And Anatoly was saying that in Russia, you had to make your own serial cable. You couldn't buy them. I wasn't that hardcore.
We didn't go that far. No, my dad, who's an electrical engineer, he just made
brought home a serial cable.
Yeah, well, something like that actually. And we had 2 computers to play on. We had my somewhat souped up 486 computer, and then we had a 386 SX 33 megahertz. Now the SX computer, the 386, could not run Doom very well, and my 486 could.
I played it on a 386 SX, and I loved every 10 frame per second about it.
Well, we had a special rule, since you can only play 2 people over a serial cable. The loser would then have to play on the 386 as punishment for the next round.
What? You? Oh, that is evil.
Yeah, but we were 13 and 14 years old, so fuck it.
Who won? Who won all the time?
My friend Matthias did.
So you got to play on the 386. No wonder why you like adventure games.
I was booted off my own fucking 486. It was a DX2 66 megahertz. It had 8 megabytes of RAM. I loved that machine to bits. And it's to this day, it's the only computer spec I know offhand. I have no idea what's in my current computer, like at all.
You know, we're getting to a point now where it doesn't really matter what's on your game. Oh, Emmy says it doesn't work for me. You'll probably have to delete the old file and restart it here. I'm gonna say that to her. Yeah, 46 was like, that was the shit back in the day. If you had a 46, you could play like every game from like 1989 till about like 1995 before people started going like, okay, 46, you need to upgrade now.
Yeah.
And 5 years was a long time back then.
Oh, this was around the time when actually having to slow down your CPU to play old 80s games became a thing. We gotta get a Space Quest anecdote in here. There's a famous sequence in Space Quest 4 where you're evading the sequel police over the zero-G skating rink, and that thing is fucking impossible on a fast computer.
Yeah, I remember playing that not too long ago. So that game you can actually buy on Good Old Games, and I'm not sure if it's like got the right CPU speed and that you don't have to slow it down manually because they just didn't like test it all the way or something.
Oh, today it's no problem. Today it's no problem because DOSBox, you can adjust the cycles. You can play it in ScumVM, and that fixes the timer bugs altogether.
Yeah. ScumVM is like really awesome piece of historic preservation software out there. If you like adventure games, just like get ScumVM and be like, oh, look at all these games I can play, and then like,
oh hell yeah, they just came out with a new update that supports games like Gabriel Knight 2 and some of the later Sierra titles from the mid 90s.
I'm actually playing in the evenings when I'm like, oh, I want to play my adventure game to chill out. I'm playing Phantasmagoria for the first time right now.
Oh God, no!
I'm enjoying it. I'm actually enjoying Phantasmagoria right now.
Are you really?
Yes.
When you're done with it, if it's for you, it's your first play. When you're done with it, hop on by my channel and watch me and Natalie Juhasz and Richard Cobbett co-commentate on it. We're almost done. The 6th episode came out yesterday, and the 7th and final episode comes out next week.
Okay.
And yeah, go and check that out.
I do want to see it, but like I don't want to be spoiled by it because I'm like, even though the game is paced really poorly, I'm so invested in the characters and what's gonna happen.
Oh hell! Oh, definitely don't go and check out the video unless you already know what happens.
I need to know what happens.
In chapter 7. What's that?
I'm on chapter 6 right now.
All right, so you're near the end. Well, we'll see you in 6 months when you finally don't want to throw your computer out the window in frustration about chapter 7.
Is it that bad?
No spoiler.
Is it a skill thing, or is it just like a fuck you, the story is this now thing?
There is no skill in Phantasmagoria. It's a lot of random numbers and shit.
Well, I'll just say this. In some of the older Sierra games, there was a lot of like skill-based stuff that they would throw in the middle, which always felt weird and at odds with like the rest of the game where it was just all puzzles and dialogue and stuff.
Are you talking about arcade sequences? Because guess what famous space adventure series invented that thing? Yeah.
So Space Quest
1.
Really?
Space Quest 1 was
they had one? I don't remember the text one because I played the VGA remake.
All right, well, Space Quest 1 from 1986 was the first adventure game to include puzzles that had to do with the on-screen character's position on the screen. So you had to evade acid drops, and you had this fucking skimmer sequence where you had to
you're right, because
fly around rocks and shit.
Because that's the inspiration for StairQuest.
Well, kind of. StairQuest. If anyone doesn't know, it was an Adventure Jam game that I worked on slightly.
You worked on StairQuest?
Yes, I did.
You didn't tell me that.
No, I did not.
I'm hype as fuck right now.
I didn't design any of the levels. I wrote about, I don't know, a third of the parser responses that you get, mostly the dirty ones. So if you try and fuck or lick or shit on anything or piss on something in StairQuest, I probably wrote the response for it.
That's funny. That's really funny.
The dudes who make StairQuest are very good friends of mine. One of them is actually our team leader, Jess Morissette, the proprietor of the first ever Space Quest fan site known to man, and probably, he will claim, the first fan site for a game ever made. It was in 1995. worldwide history.
I believe that. I believe that. 1995.
Yeah.
Because back then, it's just like, we have a web ring of Ate My Balls website. Do I have to explain that? Do I need to explain Ate My Balls?
You probably need to explain that one, yeah. But web ring, oh no. We had a huge. I mean, Space Quest was huge in the early days of the internet. Absolutely.
Doomy Demos says you're not bad. Thank you. Thank you, Doomy Demos.
I'm just spectating around. I haven't even joined the game yet. Should I do that?
You should join the game and pick up a super shotgun, get close to somebody.
I'll probably do that. I've just been running around spectating all this time.
You're just getting a warm-up lap in there? But we just changed the map.
Yeah, I thought that would be fair.
We should be in the game because every time you get killed, it's a name drop right on screen.
Oh yeah. Because people need to see how absolutely utterly awful at this I am. Now I did say I've played a lot of Doom, and that's true. I'm just very, very bad at it. Okay, my first frag. That was kind of a cheat.
Look, it's not like playing Anatoly. Anatoly's pretty decent at this game. I know he's like, I'm not good, but he's good.
Yeah, he said that as well. I invited him when I hit the 2,000 subscribers, and he said, no, let's not call it an ass kicking. And he said this on the air as well. Let's not call this an ass kicking. I'm not that good at it. And we get in it, and he's just mopping the floor with me.
It's easy. There's a high skill ceiling. There you go. You got me. Your name shows up when you kill me too, so it's win-win. Whether you win or lose, you win because your name's showing up on screen.
And after the 2000 thing, Chris Asik, the Ancient Gods games dude, wrote me and said, "Well, you're not that bad." Thanks.
That's what you want to hear when you're like, you're doing something fun.
I was pretty middle of the road, which is story of my life, really. All right. Where is everyone? Oh, there you fucking are.
They're sitting in spectator because I think they're really interested in what you have to say about adventure games.
I highly doubt it.
No. Okay, so you probably don't know too much about what we're building, right?
I saw that it was a VR game, and already I just killed myself. I don't have VR equipment, but I enjoyed the synopsis of what it actually is, so I would actually love to hear what it does.
What does it do? It vacuums, it cleans, it juliennes fries, right?
Well, from the pitch, it sounded a bit like Tender Loving Care, except you see it through the eyes of John Hurt.
It's not quite like that, but
please God tell me it's not like that.
Basically what Starship Commander is, it's like when you played the LucasArts, I'm gonna be a little bit of heresy for you here, but
no.
LucasArts adventure games.
I love LucasArts games.
Okay. They always had pretty complicated, intricate dialogue trees that have joy and you want to explore them. There's nice things to exploring those dialogue trees.
Absolutely.
We've created a game that focuses around that dialogue, which doesn't sound like, and on the surface, that it'd be a lot of fun, until I tell you that you talk to the characters just like I'm talking to you right now.
Oh, there have been a number of adventure games or games that focused on dialogue. I recently played Subsurface Circular, which is just one huge dialogue tree inside a subway car. And earlier there was the Douglas Adams game Starship Titanic, which tried to bring back the parser, but have you talk to robots with it, and it didn't work that well. But I assume you've done something much more clever than just have a parser that recognizes certain weird phrases. So
what we've done is we've teamed up with Microsoft to get essentially like the best machine learning AI software out on the market. And this thing actually determines the intent of what you're saying. And then based off of that, that's how the dialogue fires. And so that's a really
an interesting choice of words that you just shot me in the fucking back.
So interestingly enough, when you talk to these characters and you say things like, hey, well, first of all, we put you in a ship and it's like, hey, you got a mission, you're gonna go do some stuff. And you're like, hey, what are the guns like on this? And Sophie Wright, who was on stream with us earlier this week on day 2, she'll have some snarky thing to say because she's Sophie, and Sophie's lots of snark. And she'll be like, all right, Kill, I'll teach you how to use the guns. and then she kind of goes into her thing. So there's a lot of joy and wonder in exploring the dialogue in our game, and not only that, but there's still action sequences and stuff too. It's a VR game. You're gonna have some fun, cool stuff that happens.
Please let me, because one thing I'm dying to know is since it's a VR game, are you glued to the floor?
You're not glued to the floor. You can actually get up out of the chair and walk around, but you're inside of a spaceship, so I mean, like, there's not very much room to walk around inside of it.
All right, cool. Because that is one thing that I mean, I love VR. I think it's a great idea, and I'm very, very excited for what it can do. Also for, narrative-driven games, dialogue games, and adventure games and such. Right now, it's just a lot of, oncoming swarms and, movement.
Yeah.
It's the big trouble. But it has so much potential for, those old, I don't want to say Myst, because Myst, but...
We're going to probably play Myst at some point.
Oh, shit. Let me finish my thought. You could actually do some of those glued on the floor type games. I know my friend Agustin Cordes from Senscape is doing his game Asylum for the Oculus Rift, and it is one of those old guy, 7th Guest, 11th Hour style glued to the floor kind of adventure games, where you have 360-degree head movement, but when you want to go somewhere, you click one of those follow me kind of buttons. So that would be cool.
I'm trying to do this thing. Somebody in the chat says, turn on adjust smart clipping and the sprites are in the floor.
Oh, dear God.
I don't see it in here.
Nah, me neither. All the sprites are moving as they should, killing me a lot. This level is phenomenal.
Wow, there's a lot of options in here. I didn't even think. Yeah. This is another level that's basically like a big circle.
Did I not pick that? I picked that up. Jesus.
Do you have the auto turned on?
Yeah, I do, because that's classic mode. I also turned off jumping, I think, and
you're an anti-jumper for Doom. All right.
Not technically an anti-jumper, but it does kind of,
So
it's not.
There's some people out there that are just like, no, it's not Doom when you can jump. It's cool.
There's that. I mean, jumping in FPS in general, I think, is very weird. I mean, I remember playing Quake for the first time, and just, this is a badass space marine, and he's just gonna stand there and jump up at, ledges and shit. This dude doesn't have arms. He can't, pull his fat ass up.
No, you can't.
It's just beggars belief.
Oh, someone's hitting me hard. Oh, I might.
Don't be me. You son of a bitch. All right, I'll stop tickling you.
Ooh, that tickles.
Just standing there with a chain gun going, does this tickle? How about now?
It was doing quite a bit of damage. You gotta get the super shotgun though, because that's where the damage is at. You can burst the damage here.
Oh yeah, I love a good shotgun match. Anatoly and I, we were playing on map 32, and we were just sitting there fawning over how fun it was to play Doom again, and I said something like, oh, we both got the shotgun, and he just goes, I fucking love a shotgun match, in that inimitable Russian way he does. Brilliant.
Well, that's what these newer maps do. They always put you in charge, you and a shotgun. I mean, you almost always spawn on a shotgun, and every once in a while you spawn on something that's not a shotgun. And then you're just like, ooh, change of pace gameplay.
I'm actually digging these, because in preparation for the 2,000 subscriber ass kicking, my friend set up his own Doom server, and he tested that out a couple of times, me and some of my friends. And we had the hardest time finding, maps from the old Doom 2 and especially Doom 1 that were actually really good for deathmatching.
Yeah, you have to remember, when they put the multiplayer together, they probably assumed that not very many people would play it, because who had a network with multiple PCs connected?
Oh, mid-90s, I used to go to a lot of LAN parties.
That was the way to do it.
Oh, hell yeah. There was no internet play back then, and if there was, it was over...
It was laggy. I mean, there was Dwango in the US, but it was not something
we didn't have that, by the way. No Dwango for us. So I would physically lug my computer all the way over to my mate Peter's house, and he lived on the, I can't remember if it was the 6th or 7th story of this apartment complex, but it was, you have to bring your own CRT monitor, keyboard, tower cabinet, all this shit, up 6 flights of stairs every weekend just to play Doom and Quake.
Wow, I would only go to like go maybe like once or twice a year because LANs didn't happen very often where I lived, you know.
Well, we went to some of the bigger lands, like when you're 200 sweaty nerds and when one gymnasium. We went to those, but most of the time we just went to my mate Peter's house. It was me and my brother, and Peter. We just set up this 3-person LAN, and we just played Doom and Quake. And I distinctly remember I was the first person who learned how to play with mouse look, or play with the mouse in general, because when we played Doom, it was keyboard only.
Yeah.
You couldn't look up and down. You could, I mean, we could strafe, you could shoot, and it would auto aim, and that was fine. So we did the same thing when Quake came out, and
yeah,
I had been told that playing Quake with the mouse was actually better because you could look up and down. So when I started doing that, I got my ass handed to me on a weekly basis. But very slowly, I learned how to mouse look, and all of a sudden, I started kicking their asses, and they were not used to that. I'm not an ass kicker.
Yeah, I'm not normally an ass kicker, but you sound like the most interesting man in the world.
Suddenly, I wish to subscribe to your newsletter.
But when I do it with a mouse.
Yeah. Oh dear God. Yeah, the clicker genre just took on a very strange. Never mind. Change the subject.
So I actually have a pretty funny mouse story too. When I was young, I too only play with the keyboard because, like, why would you play a game with a mouse? Like, that was for like the little solitaire in Windows. That was like not really a game unless you were like really desperate and like you were at your dad's office or something, you know. So
come on down here, fucker.
When I played Doom,
sorry.
Oh, ow. There you go. Right
there you go.
So when I played Doom, I would play keyboard, and then I remember reading, like on message boards, that if you wanted to be really good at the game, you would play with the mouse and the keyboard, and they would say like, put your hand on the keyboard and then one hand on the mouse, and you're like, oh my God. First of all, it was like the first time you play a game like that, it's the most awkward thing in the world. It's like the worst fucking thing. You're just like, how is this better? But you're
especially
like,
if you're playing Doom, because with Doom, they didn't know what the hell mouse look was. So when you move the mouse forward, it would actually make you run forward instead of around.
And so
that's why we never did it. We're just like, this is fucking stupid.
Yeah, because you never bound keyboards to move forward on the mouse. But I think the default was mouse 2 to move forward in Doom, which is why I learned to play that way. And the default strafe keys were the brackets, left and right brackets. On the US keyboard, it's the keyboard and period. And so that's why I play that way, because I learned how to play mouse and keyboard that way. And it's just like, well, why would I give up 20 years of learning how to play this way?
Now, I distinctly remember we would turn on, when Duke Nukem 3D came out, when Doom came out, we would try and turn on the mouse just to see what the hell that was about. Why can you control this with a mouse? And moving the mouse forward and backwards made you physically move back and forth, and left and right
made
you turn
mouse look back in the day, because like most of these game engines didn't support looking up and down. Doom never supported looking up and down. Duke 3D did, but
yeah, in that weird sort of stretchy weirdo kind of way. It went all Cronenberg on you.
It was definitely kind of a hack in Duke, but I started playing that way, and then all of a sudden it's just like I got good. And then here's the thing: the guys that learned how to play mouse and keyboard on Doom, first of all, they were a little bit better because you could aim easier with a shotgun. But second of all, BFG. Don't mind if I do.
Oh yeah. So someone give Alexander the BFG. That's a great idea.
But by the time people merged to Quake, where the action was all over you because it was a real 3D engine, you were screwed if you didn't learn how to play mouse and keyboard.
Oh yeah.
Yay, Emmy, you're in.
Oh yo, I'm tied. I think I'm tied for last place, so not doing too bad. What do you think now, Chris?
All right, we're gonna have some more people here. Oh, Doomy Demo says I'll let you in for the next match. Oh, is it because you don't like this map?
Oh, come in and join us. If you need some target practice, I'm just running around in a fucking circle.
Boom.
See? That's what I'm good for. I'm here to entertain and inform. And nothing else.
So, once you transition to Quake, like if you were not on the mouse and keyboard train, that was a huge learning curve because now you had to look up and down.
Yeah, exactly, and that's why I started doing the mouse looky thing. Even though my brother and my friend, they laughed at me and said, "Why the fuck would you do that? There's still auto aim. You must be out of your mind."
So yeah, that was an interesting time, but like, I think that's when a lot of people kind of dropped out because like Doom, you could play with the keyboard and still be pretty good. Like, you weren't that much better than mouse and keyboard players. But like, as soon as you went to Quake, it was just like, fuck, you can't look up and down. This is terrible. And they tried to make controllers and like joysticks and stuff for it, but it just, game was designed for mouse and keyboard. It's a mouse and keyboard game. That's what you do. The Manny says, play with a DDR pad and a Joy-Con if you want a challenge.
I have a story about Street Fighter 2, which I realize doesn't have a lot to do with Doom.
No, it's the same era, right? We all played Street Fighter 2 with this game.
Because my wife and I bought a Wii, and we bought Street Fighter 2 because it emulates. The Wii is a fantastic emulator, by the way.
Oh yeah.
It would have been a fantastic adventure game machine, but no one bothered to put out any good adventure games on it. Sadly,
there's Scum VM though. It is a wonderful adventure game machine actually, because you can put it straight at the screen.
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought. I mean, I
replayed a lot of adventure games on it.
Before I got an HDMI cable, so I could just plug my laptop in and play Space Quest on my big ass TV.
Yeah, but the Wiimote still is a pointer.
The Wiimote is a pointer.
Yeah,
and you have to use Homebrew to get the Scum VM thing running. Properly Wii, boxed games, adventure games. Even the first Broken Sword game was terrible on the Wii. Sorry, Mr. Cecil.
Telltale released a lot of their games. The Strong Bad and Monkey Island games were on it.
And 7 Max 2, and they lagged like a motherfucker.
Yeah.
They were nigh on the. So, anyway, we bought Street Fighter 2 because we were okay, now we're gonna get our groove on. And I don't know if we were stoned or we just didn't look at it probably, but we ended up buying the TurboGrafx 16 version instead of the Super Nintendo version.
What? How did you do that?
I don't know. Either we did it for fun or we were drunk. I don't know. But the TurboGrafx, if you're good at Street Fighter 2 and you're used to the arcade version or the Super Nintendo version, which by the way is the best one of them all, play the TurboGrafx 16 version because it's a 2-button thing, and you have to hit the select button to switch between kicks and punches.
That's worse.
Oh, it is. Suddenly it's a game of skill, like a strategy game instead of a beat 'em up.
Hey, Troll.
And I don't recommend it.
Could you restart the Hangout because your audio is doing that jittery thing again?
Yay! Yes, I can.
Because that fixed it last time. I'll cover for you while we're on there. So Street Fighter 2, the Manny's asking us, did you turn on mouse look for Street Fighter 2? I wonder if I'll have to let him into this chat when he gets back in. Street Fighter's a skill game. What is this nonsense? Yeah, there's only 6 buttons on it. Street Fighter was a game that I played the shit out of though. Go ahead, Trolls. Let's see you test your audio again.
Hello, everyone.
You're just fine now, so I don't know what the issue was.
Screw Hangouts a lot.
So, they're talking about Street Fighter now. You said Street Fighter, we're at Street Fighter. There's actually a couple levels with Street Fighter music in it, so it's relevant.
I turned off the music. I had to. I dearly love the OPL 2 and 3 since of the old Sound Blaster cards to bits. I used to do MIDI music when I was in high school. We had a sequencer in the music room, and I used to go there after class and just sit there and pound on the MIDI keyboards. Keyboards, you perverts. And I had such fun switching between, we had a Roland sound canvas, but it also had OPL 3 emulations. I used to switch back and forth and just see, okay, how does it sound like on my Sound Blaster at home versus over here, and all of this jazz. But music and FPS, for some reason, if it's a multiplayer FPS, I prefer to have it, to have no music. I know that's weird.
Oh, well, because you can focus better, and I would play FPS like that too, but I'm playing Doom for fun here. I'm not playing for tournament. I must
be in first
place.
I thought you said I could win a microwave. Fuck am I? I'm leaving.
Switch TV.
Damn. Well, I have been misled. I'm just kidding.
I got misled right there.
I mean, I have to be playing for fun because fuck me, if I'm playing for keeps, then I'm not keeping anything. Least of all my dignity.
I'm going after you though. I see your blue character, and it's like, yep.
Cobalt blue. Well, machine blue? Dumbass blue.
I don't know. I've got a different blue. I think mine's a little bit brighter than yours. I'm coming for you, Emmy. Coming for you.
Yeah, you do that. I'll frag someone else in the meantime. Oh, hello.
It's okay. You get behind someone's back anyway.
I'm just shooting people in the back by Buford Tannen over a matter of $80. I've watched those movies way too much, I think.
I think we all did. I'm actually kind of surprised that they haven't made a remake of those films. Hollywood is on a path of remaking everything, and somehow Back to the Future doesn't have like a... They can make that thing go on forever.
No, because Back to the Future, the original, is the quintessential 80s movie. Have you seen, I mean, his goal in life is to be a rock star and have a big-ass SUV. It is the Reagan-era quintessential 80s movie.
And we just love it because they couldn't modernize that and be like, we're going back to the future again, and he's like coming back from another time zone. It's like, and it's his Marty's kids. Well, okay, I guess you're right, because the actor wouldn't be able to play the role, right?
Actually, the Telltale Back to the Future adventure games, they got a sound-alike to do Marty McFly's voice.
Correct, but that's a video game.
Well, yeah, but...
And to be fair, that game did not do very well.
No, I didn't like it. I really wanted to like it.
Me too, right? Like, I was just like, oh, this seems like this is going to be really good. I was like,
What am I doing in the fucking lava?
The llama is when you kill somebody who's disconnected or lagging.
I meant lava, as in, ow, my fucking feet hurt.
Oh. Yeah, so if you see somebody who is got a bubble above their head, just kill him. And he'll scream llama at your face.
I love llamas. I really whip the llama's ass. Oh, another 90s reference.
You know what? I ran Winamp 2 for like the longest fucking time, even though they were on like version 5 and 6. Because it ran right away. It started right away, and it just ran your music. You didn't have to do anything.
No, Winamp 3 was the biggest hustle ever. It was shit, it was slow, it was ugly. Winamp 2 was where the fucking action was.
I know. That skin, too. I use that skin forever because it's like, it's so functional, it was so good. And it did with the llama's ass, too.
Yeah, it did. Totally did.
Here we go, Street Fighter music.
Lost the lead!
I will take your word for it because there is nothing, and I mean nothing, that can make me turn the music on. Except a rocket to the face. The first person to give me a rocket to the face, I will turn on the music for.
Oh, is that a challenge?
That is a challenge. I'm just issuing challenges now.
I'll do rockets. Oh, there's another guy shooting all rockets right now, too.
Fake bravado. That was not a rocket, that was a chain gun, that doesn't count. And that was Alexander. No, wait.
No, there's another guy that's got blue color now.
Well, this guy was pink, so apparently I'm colorblind as well. What the hell? That was a super shotgun. Doesn't count either.
I gotta get a rocket launcher, but I'm trying to also get my KDR up.
KDR?
KDR, kill death ratio. It's like an FPS player thing.
Oh, you're all the every terminology that I mean, we just called them kills, and when someone died, we called them a dumbass. we were kids.
The Manny says, spoiler, you do triple damage with music on. All right, there we go. I got some rockets.
That's not gonna help me.
All right, that's a kill with rockets. Getting kills with rockets is it feels sloppy. It doesn't feel good.
It feels deliciously sloppy, especially if you jib someone. That is my favorite. I mean, there were a lot of reasons why we played Doom, and you know, it was fast-paced. It controlled excellently. It was like playing Mario for the first time. You just go, well, this is what's been missing all this time. This is how you do shit. But where the hell was I going with that story? I have no idea.
Good controls make it for a great game.
Oh, actually, I don't know what my original story was, but I'll tell you a different story. I actually interviewed John Romero once.
Really?
Yeah, on the Backseat Designers podcast, which is a podcast about narrative game and adventure game design with my two co-hosts, Frederick and Gareth. And somehow, Frederick somehow got John Romero to accept an invitation. So we sat down and interviewed John Romero, and the topic of discussion was, did Doom kill adventure games? Because, you know, when Doom came out, so all of a sudden we stopped paying attention to great story and puzzles and immersion and all that, and it's, you know, being a gamer was less about being like a library nerd and more like being like having a great car. Like, look at my fat rims, look at my fast PC, all of this shit. And John comes on the show.
It definitely changed the industry, but I'm curious, what did he say?
Well, he came on the show, and he knew we were going to ask him the tough questions. Did Doom kill the adventure game genre? And first of all, he completely schools us on adventure games, because John started out playing text adventures on mainframes.
Yep.
So, and this was before our time. I mean, we were 80s kids. So, first of all, we're getting schooled on adventure games by the dude who made Doom. Second, he has the audacity and bravado to claim that Doom is, in fact, an adventure game.
It is, because it originally was going to be one.
Yeah, but not, I mean, also in its current state, you are solving problems, you are acquiring objects, you are thinking your way to victory. It just so happens that you have a big fucking gun to do it with, but on the whole, it is problem solving just like an adventure game, except there's more reaction time to it. And we were gobsmacked. Like, we just got schooled big time, and we weren't even in a death match.
More ways for Romero to school you, huh?
Oh yeah. So I really hope
pretty good.
I really hope he'll join your stream tomorrow. Or
we put out a tweet, and we encouraged everybody to, you know, to retweet it, to give it some love. But you know, if John Romero, you are welcome to come onto this stream and to school us in Doom, in history, in any capacity. I mean, you are the creator, lead designer on this game, and a lot of us are in the game industry because of this game. And so I always think it's fitting that he's got a seat of honor, or he could be a guest of honor. You know?
Absolutely.
It's your game.
Let's not leave out Tom Hall, who also did a lot of phenomenal work on Doom that never made it into the game. Tom Hall is one of my favorite designers.
Yeah.
Because he insisted on, you know, games should have story.
Oh, hold on a second. You'll have to squeeze in here, Sophie. Do you have a pair of headphones that you can plug in?
God, this is frantic.
Here we go. Hold on a second. Sophie Wright just entered in here. I'll have to like squeeze over, see if I can make room. We're going to squeeze in really tight here.
There's a metaphor going on with this level as well. It's a very tight squeeze, so you're just physically experiencing what everyone else is experiencing virtually. I can't aim with all this shit on screen.
Oh, there we go. You turn the screen towards me. This is amazing. I don't know if you'll be able to squeeze in without getting like right up.
Sorry. That was a cheat kill.
We'll just scoot back a little bit. And for headphones here, do this. Hold on, a surprise guest appears, Sophie Wright.
Sophie appears.
Hold on, let me turn on your mic too. There you go. Say hi, Sophie.
Hi, Sophie.
Here, plug me up down there, and then grab yourself a set of headphones out of the bottom drawer there.
Which one?
Just any open spot.
There you go.
There we go. All right, cool. I can hear again. All right, so Sophie Wright, if you don't know, is Chief Operating Officer at Human Interact, but she's also one of the main acting roles in the game as Sergeant Sarah Pearson.
That's me.
Good to meet you, Sergeant. I salute you.
There you go. You got a headset.
And I tied for last again. Yay.
They're asking if there's co-op now. Should I set up a co-op server? I feel like that would be weird to end on a Friday. If anything, today should have been the co-op server day.
That could be interesting. I'd suck just as bad, but at least I wouldn't get shot by my teammates. I doubt. Anyway.
This thing's really short.
Try another cable, or just pull that thing out further. She picked out the headphones, and it has the shortest cable possible.
Excellent. That's what you need, a head cramp every time you want to turn a corner.
Oh, this map has like a ton of spam potential in it too. Can you get that to reach now?
No,
Is that you?
Yeah, that's Sophie right there. Say hi. Hi, trolls.
I trolled.
Hello.
I already saluted.
Surely you've got your pair.
There should be a headphones in there with longer cable. Or an extension. Actually, that bag has an extension on the front of it.
Woohoo!
There you go.
I'm going to rocket the shit out of you,
I
Amy.
should get rockets. Yeah, you're right. Rockets are pretty fun. The only problem
I am the rocket man.
somebody comes up with a shotgun, jukes all your rockets, and then just, just fires a couple times.
I should get rockets, says Alexander, then gives me 2 barrels to the face. That is not a rocket, Alexander, but thanks for playing.
Let's see if this will work. I don't know.
I think your mic is facing outward.
Die!
This is
Okay, I'm getting into this now.
I know, isn't this game pretty easy to get into?
It is. That was really when we did the test beforehand. I was like, I will be unable to speak and play at the same time, for I have 0 brain cells.
But you figured it out.
Well, I just stopped giving a shit if I was hitting anyone. It seems to have solved itself.
Yeah, this game's always a good time. I mean, like,
It is.
I have not played this game, like, seriously, like, let's do a tournament and win. I don't think I've done that in many years, but playing casually on levels like this at big free-for-alls, hell yeah.
And still, please, I have a present for you. All right. You can give me your present first.
I've got 20 presents for you.
There you go. Oh, one last thing about John Romero. The 2000 ass-kicking thing on my channel. I actually asked Romero if he would be the commentator on it.
There's a rocket.
And he said, no, I don't have the time for it, but I would like to say that the level you have chosen is absolutely fucking stupid. It was map 32 of Doom 2. And we kind of, Anatoly and I kind of took that as a badge of honors. Okay, the match is at least semi-sanctioned by Romero, and he says we're fucking idiots for choosing that map, so cool.
I'd take that.
That was a little bit of humble bragging there. I'm sorry, I'll get back to having my ass kicked now.
Sorry, I had to juke that rocket that was about ready to... Come here, buddy. There you go.
Juke the rocket.
Yeah,
I'm learning so many new phrases today.
yeah, you bob and weave. It's juking. There you go. See, I didn't juke
Hashtag
that.
second language. This is not my
No.
first language. Accuracy, I doubt it highly.
We gotta get this guy. Get the red guy. No!
No. I think I'll take a swim in lava. Hey, I'm second to last now. Things are heating up. If we do this for 5 more hours, maybe I'll get to 3rd place.
Well, you know what? If you do this for a couple weeks, it's good. Why don't you hang this up closer up there? There you go, so I can hear you.
Cheers, everyone who's watching on the stream and or playing. And now the game has started. I didn't even take a sip. Yeah, all right, fucking kill me. Who cares?
Take a sip of that cognac.
Sip.
Yeah. Oh shit.
And the red guy. Is he the one that won this last time?
Did I win this last
No,
time?
just Doomy Davis.
No, this is somebody that's new in here. Hold on, I gotta turn you up because you're way quiet.
I know normally I'm really loud. I think it's because I'm leaning forward and I'm away from the mic.
There we go, that should be a lot better.
All
Oh,
right.
whoa, I'm loud. I think it's because it's facing... Yeah, this should be good, right?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, you should be good.
There's nothing like having some technical troubles on the air. I love it.
Well, that's what I get for coming in late, you know?
Yeah.
I just
That's
feel
sort of
broke
my
from the next
streaming
state over. Fuck it.
No, you have to sort of take it. I mean, it's comedy first is the rule we have on the Backseat Designers podcast. We might rip on each other and we might say some terrible things to each other, but it's comedy first. And then after the show, we get in the Facebook chat and we go, "You do realize I didn't actually mean you can go suck your mother's whatever." And it's like, yeah, of course. I mean, it's all in good fun.
I got single barrel shotgun. I need to get, like, a real weapon.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's not gonna cut it there, bruh.
I actually prefer the single shotgun because of its sound effect alone. The sound effect is awesome. But
It's got a cool sound effect, but, like, in terms of killing people, I have an idea.
The double barrel is, of course, more effective, but
You're being sent. You're
the
good.
sound effect
Yeah.
is not as
Okay.
cool, and it loads slower too.
No.
Okay. Yeah, it's just... I'm hearing you way quieter than everyone else. And I'm like turning it up and then like it makes me louder.
That doesn't make any sense.
Oh, there we go. Now I can hear you just
Yeah, well, I was leaning over too far before.
Hey,
Yeah, I was leaning over going, trying to read this and trying to stay in frame and just not.
No, you shall not. We are trying to have a shotgun match here. Would you fuck off, sir? Honestly, this is quite rude of you.
He turned around and shot me, and then he went back to shooting. Who won that one?
I killed Jason, and then everyone else killed me.
Jason turned around and killed me.
I avenged your death.
You know, or is it somebody else?
Is Jason? I don't know who this person is. So yeah, there's a bunch of people on our server.
Great.
Let's see who's on here right now. Let's see. Demos is in chat. What's up? Thunder45 is in chat. What's up? Space Quest Historian. I don't know who he is.
Nah,
It's just some dickhead who wandered in.
fucking rando.
It's some shit about him.
Emmy's in chat. What's up? How you doing? This is a lot of fun playing with you guys. I'm glad that. Can I sneak through here? Nope. I'm stuck. Hey Ned, welcome to the Doom server.
Ned Flanders.
I need to find a better gun. I keep getting the single barrel shotgun. There we go. Where are you?
I like the single barrel shotgun. I've just killed a bunch of people with it. I just killed you with it.
He's like, I got you.
Do not disparage the single barrel shotgun, for it is your friend. Here, allow me to demonstrate in your face.
I like when everyone's in the same area and everyone's kind of like facing each other and going around in circles.
That's how Doom works.
And various other teenage activities, but let's not get into that.
Ooh.
That was terrible, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Oh shit, man, I'm tied for third.
There you go.
No, wait, no, fourth. I'm also good at math.
The Manny says lewd. I think this next map here is pretty good.
Mr. Wong just legally changed my name.
There we go. This one has super shotgun. Everyone get in the pit if you want shotgun ass kicking.
If anyone has any intentions of checking out, the podcast or the channel that I do, you have to expect some lewd humor. Not like Leisure Suit Larry lewd, but when I hear certain phrases, it just conjures up weird imagery.
I played the remake of Leisure Suit Larry when it came out, and I was just like, all right, I'm excited. They're remaking old adventure games, and I was just like, yeah.
The one that Replay Games did?
Yeah, and it has nothing to do with the way in which they did it. They did a great job. It was just the content of it.
So they basically made a new one, because I'm not up on it.
No, they didn't they remade the classic, and it's just like, man, we have moved on from this as like a community.
And sadly, Josh Mandel wrote the remake thing, and they were going to do 2, 3, and 4, and probably the entire series, except the lead, the CEO of Replay Games was a complete and utter cockhead, and for reasons that I shouldn't go into here.
Okay.
I can tell you later, but he basically tanked his own company in a huge fucking way.
That's sad to hear.
Yeah, but Leisure Suit Larry was the only Sierra title that he had the rights to, because for some reason, after Sierra was bought by Sentient and CUC and got sold off to Activision, for some reason the rights to Leisure Suit Larry ended up in the hands of Codemasters.
What? What? How does that happen?
I don't know. But that's how he was able to get the rights to Leisure Suit Larry. But as for Space Quest, for instance, I don't know if anyone's heard of that one, those rights were still tied up with Activision, and Activision would not let them go. So when the two guys from Andromeda reunited and decided, hey, let's do another Space Quest-y type game.
They're still making that game, aren't they? It's hasn't been released, has it?
It has been over 5 years in the making.
Wow.
It was delayed and delayed again because, family members kept dying left and right. They made an unfortunate decision to create their own game engine within Unity instead of using an established one.
Yeah, I can see
all sorts of bullshit. But it is still being developed. It regularly tops lists of vaporware, Kickstarter failures and all that. But
it's still in development.
Okay, it's still development.
I've read the restart
documents.
You're gonna want to restart your Google thing. I'm sorry.
There you go. Well, I died anyway, so. Yep, be right back.
All right. So yeah, Space Quest historian Trolls has been making, he's a Let's Player for other obviously Space Quest games, but also a lot of different adventure games. And so like he's in the know about a lot of this old 90s stuff, and I played Doom with him on his stream a couple weeks ago, and I was like, why don't you come in and join us?
Sweet.
And so like now he's here.
And lewd.
Lewd. Apparently that's my mission in life now. I'm the lewd
You
guy.
have the lewd podcast. Ooh.
Well, it's funny because usually I'm the lewd one.
Oh, okay. I thought I'd offended someone.
Oh, God, no.
Oh god, no.
No.
Okay, so can I just say, while you guys were setting up and you were making comments like, no, you got to pull this one in, no, put that in the other one, no, just jam it in there, no, move over here. It kind of weird images. I couldn't see what was going on screen. I was biting my tongue not to say something inappropriate.
That's okay. You'll be fine.
No, it's all right.
Just let it all out.
I came in
Well,
and I
it's
was
too
like,
late now. The timing is over.
I came in and his house is such a fucking mess out here. I was like, you must have thrown one fucking hell of a party, dude. Why didn't you call me? There's fucking like liquor bottles and condom wrappers and shit out here. It's
Well,
just
it's
like,
Doom anniversary week. We have to unwind.
I guess.
It's hard work.
I guess. I just showed up. I just got here.
How exactly do you play Doom one-handed? If you're stroking your cock with one hand and holding the mouse with the other, you would have to do that thing. Also, why would you need condoms in the first place?
There is not one-handed mode in this game. It's the after party.
Well, there is actually the one-handed. If you're playing it with the mouse, the old default mouse that we were talking about earlier, where you move the mouse forward. Yeah. That would actually be an interesting match. Okay, everyone but me, please revert to default mouse style so that I have a fucking chance. No one did.
No, wait, no takers? Okay, rockets.
Rockets! Yay! My favorite. I like that the weapons stay behind. It's not a respawning weapon type thing.
Oh, well, yeah. With this many people on these small maps, you have to have it this way. Get away, I got rockets for you. Rocket surprise.
Real men don't use mice. Is that so, Manny?
Manny, you got something to prove? You got something to prove, buddy?
To be fair, when I first played Doom back in the day, I was all keyboard.
Yeah, we were just talking about this. Like, everybody starts off all keyboard because, like, you didn't play games with a mouse. It's like, you played solitaire with a mouse. That was a game.
And Minesweeper. Dude, I kicked some serious ass in Minesweeper. I was really good at that.
But, like, even back then, none of us had
I didn't know.
game.
I didn't know how to play Minesweeper.
What?
I couldn't figure out the rules, and the help instructions were no help. I was a dumb kid.
Well, good thing there wasn't a Minesweeper puzzle in Space Quest. Jesus.
Oh hell, I would have still been stuck on that thing.
The Manny, of course, says Minesweepers is the Dark Souls of solitaire. Wait, what?
In a way, it kind of is. Because, like, just as soon as you think you have it, you're like, oh, I got this. Click, 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 boom.
Boom, yeah.
And you had, it's like, what the fuck?
Because you flagged it wrong, that's why. And then you look back at it, like, oh.
It is worth noting, however, that I just sent an email to someone because I got recommended to be a GOG affiliate. I'm not yet, so I don't have to plug anything. But I wanted to explain to them, why should they pick me as an affiliate? And I said, well, I play a lot of adventure games. I'm terrible at RTS, FPS, strategy, management games, tycoon games, any other game but adventure. And I'm not really good at those either. So please have me as your affiliate. It would be my pleasure.
That's a hell of a sales pitch there, bud.
What'd they say?
Well, I don't know. I just sent the email just 20 minutes before we started this. So I think they might still be laughing at it. Also, rocket to the back. That's how I do. Bye, please.
No, I'm trying to get that gun so I can spam, but you gotta you have to hit the brakes. Otherwise you get to die in here.
So
I'm gonna spend all my time getting the plasma rifle, meaning I'm gonna lose, but
I want that rocket launcher.
Yeah, buddy! Come here!
Rocket, everyone.
I wanna tickle you with this! Ah!
Do not tickle the historian, please. Offer him cake, maybe biscuits. A Coke would be nice. rockets to the face. Also accepted.
Let's see if I can do that again.
Tiken Gias says, "Don't worry, Space Quest historian, you were in before you even sent that email."
Really?
Is this somebody from Good Old Games in the chat?
I don't know.
Maybe, or maybe it's the guy who recommended me, because I'm sorry, I forget the name. It has something with Tika in it.
Yeah,
recommended
Tiken
me.
Gia.
Oh yeah,
He says, yeah. Well, I mean, his earlier comments. He says, yeah, when you had mouse balls and could actually lift them off the table, and then he comments or lick the balls.
Oh damn.
I'll take the balls.
I do remember back in the day when you had those old balls, mouse balls, and you had to like take them out and like clean that shit. Remember that? Get your Q-tips and your alcohol.
I have a funny story, but you guys finish up because I can top the story.
Okay, just go ahead. You know, I want to hear this. I'm going to top your shit right now, because that's just.
I heard Trolls. He said he wanted to say something. Go ahead.
That was my recollection.
Oh. Well, I do have a story about mice balls. I will confess, I thought you guys were talking about something else. It's a brief story. We were playing Quake, I believe. We were at a LAN at a person's house. We had 12 computers set up around, the different rooms in the kitchen. We had 2 hubs going. It was a mess. His parents were out of town, and this is what teenagers apparently did in Denmark. Yeah. So at one point we're playing, and I'm sort of sandwiched in between this cupboard in the hallway, and I don't have a lot of room to move, and I'm getting claustrophobic, and I have bad anger management issues at the time, so I lose, and I pick up the mouse by its little cord. We had cords on mice back then, and I proceed to slam it into the walls, sending it splintering everywhere, and I didn't bring a replacement, and I immediately realized what a dumb fuck I am. So a friend of mine actually offers to go to the computer store and buy me a replacement so I can get back in the game.
I thought you were like, I slammed it out hardcore and played it with the keyboard only.
I could have done that, but, I was probably too pissed off. The story's much cooler. You just invented the ending to that story, the new canonical story.
Nice.
New canonical ending.
The director's remix of that. Yeah, I just played the keyboard and I was a boss and I won.
Remix?
And everybody stood up and clapped.
I'm going to go post that on Tumblr right now.
All right, so my mouse ball story.
Right.
Back.
Show us your balls.
Show us your balls.
Show us your balls. That could be a regular feature, man. Show us your balls.
So back in high school, we had a computer lab, and of course, all the kids would.
I know where this is going. Go ahead.
They would install games on it, and we. This is back when we were playing Counter-Strike, so it was like 2000-ish. And here, come over here so I can get you, Ned. One day, we're unable to use any of the computers in the lab, and they put a sign over there that the computers are down. I was like, what the hell, what's wrong with them? They're working just fine. And I just kind of walked over just to go use the computer because I kind of knew how to fix computers back in the day. And I was like, what the fuck? The mouse is not working. The mouse is not working. And then
and it's also surprisingly light.
Well, I think the mice were heavy back then, so I didn't notice it right away. And then I kind of picked it up, and then they're like, yeah, the ball was gone. And then I looked at the other computer. It's like, oh, I'll just use the other computer to do it. And it's same thing. The ball was gone. And so somebody stole all the mice balls out of all the mice in the computer lab.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
That's not the joke. That's the setup.
Go ahead.
That's good, because that's a really terrible joke to pull on someone. Not that I'm above that, because we did that a lot.
Yeah, I was going to say, that sounds familiar, actually. I've never done that, but continue.
So the teachers pulled me aside out of a class room, and I was like, okay, what's going on? And they were like, hey, so the mice issue. You know that someone stole all the things out of the mice, and they can't use them.
The things. Yeah. This is typical 90s teacher. The thing was the thing that you point the thing with?
They wouldn't say balls. They would not say balls. And so they come up to me, and I'm thinking, like, maybe they're blaming me, maybe they're suspecting me because I was using the computer or whatever. No, they actually...
You have a suspicious face, apparently.
Yeah, well, they go up to me, and they're like, what do we write on here? Because they looked at the cost to replace all the mice, and apparently it was kind of expensive back then because it was like 25 computers.
Yeah, I can see that.
And so they're like,
let's replace all the mice. Oh, come on.
Yeah, so they're like, basically they were gonna punish everybody in the computer lab who had been there with detention unless somebody went and returned all the balls, but they wouldn't write mice balls, and they were just like, Alex, what can we call it? What can we write on the paper, the passive aggressively that the teacher could put up in front of the lab that doesn't have the word balls on it? That's what they pulled me out of class for.
Manny's comment, PC's impotent, balls are missing.
Yeah.
I would call them rodent testes.
And so I told them that they could say mouse rollers. And nobody knew what the fuck they were talking about. They were just like, return the mouse rollers or you're all going to detention, basically. And everybody's like, what's a mouse roller? I was like, yeah, you know, the ball under the mouse. So like, and they're like, my friends were pissed off because they're like, who the fuck would do that? We can't play Counter-Strike.
Yeah.
And we're gonna get detention. This is bullshit.
Also, I gotta just say, to go to that length to try and cover up the word balls, which is only a naughty word if you make it a naughty word.
Exactly.
It means other things.
I mean, like,
just makes it even naughtier. That is the one thing I will never understand about American society is how weirdly freaked out you get by certain words and certain letters in certain configurations, even because I mean you can say a fox, F-O-X, that's an animal, but if you fox a fox, then suddenly that's a weird thing, and you get thrown out of the zoo.
It sounds like it's like a Eyes Wide Shut kind of thing. That's kind of fucked up, man. Why would you say that on my stream?
So Tegan Gia just said, and then I see this and I appreciate this because I think I've actually done this. I taped the underside of my boss's mouse before leaving my last job with a note on the underside that says, "Do you miss me yet?" Because I was always fixing their computers. And I have to tell you, my last job, I was actually just a mechanical engineer. I'd say just, but my job was to do process stuff, right? I'm not the IT dude. Well, they had an IT dude, but he was like, and no offense to anybody who might be overweight, but he was like 450 pounds and had like a bunch of chronic health issues. So he couldn't get out in the facility and go fix computers and stuff. So whenever something was like fucked up, they would call me and be like, "Hey, Sophie, how do I do this thing on Excel? Hey, Sophie, this thing isn't booting up right. How do I do my Adobe registration?" And I'm like, "Seriously, why the fuck are you calling me? I have projects to do." And so I went ahead and actually programmed a database before I left because that's my job. You know, and
ouch, that's tough.
You put in a backdoor that says Joshua, and then it starts World War III.
Do you want to play a game? No. So basically, I told them, I was like, because they always wanted new features. Like every single day, they wanted a new feature, and I'm like, okay, but we need to test it.
And
there's
new
no
waffles.
test. So it was always breaking because they would have me add stuff, but never test it, and then just go and implement right away. Oh my God! So when I left, I'm like, you know, this thing's only going to run for about a week, and you guys are going to break it, right? And they were like,
you need
well,
to maintain it.
They're like, I'm like, get someone else to maintain it. They're like, well, we'll have our computer guy do it. I'm like, I wrote it. He has no idea what I did. That's not going to work, you know. So I heard they went out and they hired somebody else to write. That was like a year ago. But they hired somebody else to write another one for a lot. At least paid them a lot of money. Whoops.
Like that. You just throw out one system that works perfectly well because the person who knows how to use it is gone. So instead of just learning it,
here's the thing. I offered them to come back and to do updates if they paid me contractors' fees.
Really? And they couldn't do it?
Mm-hmm. Pride, dude. Pride. Because I walked. I quit to start our own company. And they were like, no. I actually had my boss pull me aside and say, well, you know, starting your own company is really hard.
Yeah, no shit. That's why we're doing it.
Most companies don't make it more than 6 months. I was like, that's your good luck and encouragement. Okay, thanks, man. Appreciate you. Here we are, a year later.
2 years.
Well, we're 2 years later, yeah, but it was a year since I left my job.
Okay, yeah, I see.
I have another story about shit we used to pull on people in the 90s, if you're interested.
Tell us.
Always.
Tell.
The old classic one was if some person got up and left their computer while it was still booted, you'd go into his Windows 95, as it was at that point, and just switch the mouse buttons. Just put it on left-hand mouse mode, and then watch them get into Doom and get really, really upset.
I remember the one we used to do is we would take a screenshot of the desktop with all the icons on it. We'd move all the icons into like another folder. And then watch them freak the fuck out after you set it as the background.
That's a good one. We did that one.
Yeah.
Definitely did that one.
There was this script kiddie program floating around in the 90s called Back Orifice. You've probably heard of it. Yeah. We because my school didn't really know what to do with their computer lab. They had one, but the person in charge of it was, let's say, fairly aging old person from the boonies or whatever you want to call it. He didn't really know what the fuck he was doing. So we had unlimited access to it. There was no supervision. We could just go in whenever we wanted to. So of course, some of my friends, I won't take responsibility for it, but I will admit I laughed my ass off, installed Back Orifice on all of the computers except for one, which of course was the master computer. And we would spend recess in there, sitting behind someone who was trying to write their mom an email for the first time in Hotmail, and when they got to "Sincerely Yours," we would just take over control of the mouse, mark everything, and hit delete and watch them start over. I'm sorry, mom. This time I'm writing this email. That's mean. We were kids.
I thought you were about ready to say it's like, and then write "fuck you" and then hit send.
Oh my god, we should have. Oh no, we were mean. We weren't assholes.
It was just playful fun.
Deleting everything's not an asshole thing, but
there's a difference. I mean, we didn't want to involve the mom. Also, there's a outside chance they might trace it back to us and throw us out.
Or some kid, more likely, some kid will narc on you.
Yeah, more likely.
Oh dear God! Someone's got a rocket launcher.
Yeah,
I am
me.
into this shit.
Get into it.
Out of this corner.
Rocket into
Alexander.
3 frags left.
You're right. That announcer is really, really energetic, isn't he?
I know. It's awesome, isn't he?
Yeah, someone's had their Wheaties. So, I have my Back Orifice story.
Yeah, let's hear it.
I'm a little bit older than you guys, and most people on the chat. So when I was in college, that was the thing. And there's a setup for this. So I was, I unfortunately got sucked in by the militant Christian groups because my roommate was one of them. So I was like, all right, cool, I can do this for a while. And while I was in one of it was like Active Christians Today or Campus Crusade or one of those places. And while I was involved with them,
that's such an unfortunate word, really.
So while I was involved with that, my roommate introduced me to this guy that she met. She's like, so hey, there's this guy, you know, whatever, because she was dating one of them too. It's a cult, it happens. And so she's
then
like,
the promise rings came flying off, and it's all history. Oh, sorry.
I wish. I wish these guys didn't play like that, or at least, anyways, let me get there. So the guy, he's just like, we get talking. So what's your major? And I'm like, it's engineering, right? He's like, what's your major? He's like, business. And so there's a joke that they tell in engineering school, and I told him the joke. Joke goes, what's the other name for engineering degree?
Moneymaker?
Free business.
Oh, wow.
Not as dirty as I was expecting.
No, but he took it personal.
That's funny.
He took it real personal.
Free business.
Yes. He took it real personal, and he just got like up in my face and was just like nasty about it. He's like, you know what? When we get older and you graduate, he says, you're going to be working for me, and I'm making all the money, and I'm going to be running the show. And I'm like,
all right, thanks.
Jesus, chill out.
oh Jesus. He was just like, he got offended. And I'm like, fuck Jesus Christ, man, all right. And I decided at that point I wanted nothing to do with them. And then
you say fuck Jesus Christ to a militant Christian? Because that might have had something to do with it.
And then I realized that wasn't enough for me. So you can see where this is going.
Where this is going.
So you can see where this is going. So our mutual friend is like, hey, listen, send this game to him, because this was when Back Orifice was disguised as a game. You'd open up the file and hey, play this game, and then
you could tell any executable,
Mm-hmm. So he's like, oh, okay, yeah, that's all right. It was kind of a dumb little thing. And so we start scoping at his computer. Well, check it out. It's full of porn. Like, fucking full of porn. Ridiculous amounts of it. Really naughty stuff, too.
Windows won't boot because there's so much porn.
Yeah, like crazy. And I'm just like, wow, because this guy hosts like Bible study in his room once a week, kind of a thing. And he like holds himself like as, the moral authority in the team. I'm like, So
Perhaps a bribery was in order.
Oh, no. We're going to do better than that. Fuck bribery. I ain't worried about that. So I said, all right, when's this next Bible study? So my friend clues me, he's like, it's Wednesday at 6:30. Why? I'm like, come over to my room. You're going to like this. So we go in and we check it out. And we tested it to see if the keystroke thing and open this tray and all that good shit. Make sure that was working. So we waited until right about the time we figured they'd be doing their little silent prayer part.
Oh shit! Oh, you are cold. That is stone cold.
I've always been like this. Anyways, we find like the raunchiest file we can find. Turn the speakers all the way up and let her rip.
Yeah, don't fuck with Sophie.
Yeah. So he wasn't a prayer leader after that.
That is good. But how did you identify the porn as his?
It's his computer.
Yeah, it was on his
Everyone had their own PC.
So you just kind of just went out on the hard drive and booted it up, and
this was back when everyone named their computer after themselves like a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
All right.
And everything was in order to get on the network. You just shared your computer. Or most people were smart enough to put just one file folder out there, your share folder, and that's where you put all your MP3s and shit.
Oh, good old Windows 95. I used to live in a dorm. Well, not technically a dorm, like dorm apartments, like an apartment complex, but only for students. And it had a network for every resident, which is really strange. So I can play Doom with my neighbor, like in a different apartment. But this being late 90s, early 2000s, actually. Most people hadn't quite worked out how the shared folder settings worked in Windows. So, something to do on a Friday night was just to go through the network and see what kind of idiot hadn't turned on his, hadn't password protected his computer.
Yep.
So, yeah, that was fun. Did find some rather interesting things, mostly some boring, university stuff things. But every once in a while you'd come across, someone pooping in pantyhose or some shit like that.
Yeah.
Poop.
Which incidentally looks like a fork through mashed potatoes.
Aww.
Yeah.
We're learning today, aren't we?
Aww. I don't need it.
There was some crazy stuff like chicks pooping in guys' mouths kind of.
No.
That's the kind of stuff they have.
Come on, this is a Sonic level. This is wholesome family fun, okay?
Yes, let's talk about shitting in people's mouths on a Sonic level, because that's how I feel when I play a
I'm
Sonic
just telling
game.
you, that's like this dude had some really fucked up stuff. That one didn't have a lot of audio though, so I couldn't use it.
Yeah, because what you really need in a shit porn is audio. You really need to hear that thing going out.
Yeah.
So, by the way, there's a Sonic level in Doom.
That must be why we're talking about shit. Now, I like.
Oh shit, man!
I like Sonic, but I remember someone telling me recently that Sonic is, a good game mascot, but his games just are just this one note. That's with Mario, there's skill involved. You're jumping, you're taking your time, you're actually figuring out a level. With Sonic, you just hit the speed and hope you don't die.
There are some levels that are not like that. It depends. The new Sonic Mania game is really good.
Yeah, the old Sonic was just like go real fast and remember when to jump.
The later levels have a lot of platforming, and they're not all speed.
Yeah, remember when to jump. So I'm looking at the chats here because we kind of get caught up. Tkangia says, I wrote a batch file so when you started my computer it would just show the root folder as password : so my family thought my computer was password protected and would leave it alone. That's good. I like that one.
Back before we had NT and had real security.
Right. Manny says hard mode is flipping the wallpaper upside down and then rotating the monitor to draw upside down too. Yep, I've seen that. That's a good one. And then you move your mouse up and it goes down the screen. You're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, reversing the mouse XY.
Yep.
That is a classic. And also mouse buttons at the same time. Just flip the fucking out.
Yeah. And Tkangia says, I had a boss accuse me of having porn on the office computer once. Turns out he meant the still clothes ladies you sometimes see in pop-ups that I'd turn off, but the browser kept in the files.
Yep.
Yeah, pop-ups. Those were a great thing.
Come play, my lord.
And then Manny is
shit.
pointing out the earlier conversation. His comment, all caps, shit's fired.
Shit's fired. Yeah. I had a meeting with. I work as a social media consultant, which is really ironic sometimes, working in communications. And I had a meeting with someone, and the client sort of, turned his computer around. He was on a laptop. No, I think he was actually on a tablet, and he was going into his browser, and he was talking about, I want my website to look like this, and I want the social media icons to go there, and all of this shit. But as he's typing in the URL to the site he wants to show me, he starts with a P and up
Yes.
a lot of Pornhub. and he's not phased. This dude was like 60. He's not phased in the slightest.
Yeah, it's just
Doesn't even
another,
mention.
just another Tuesday. Pornhub Tuesday.
Pornhub Tuesday, wow.
So that was fun.
Oh, Ned, you got me. I'm trying to get to
But anyway,
the
I can
secret area over
I
there.
can tie this in. I can say something controversial just to get the chat going.
What, that Alien's not a good movie?
No, Aliens is a fantastic movie. Holy fuck, are you kidding me?
Sorry, I
I
went
want to
there.
be playfully controversial, not like suicidal.
Okay.
With FPS, because I remember who I was talking to about Sonic and Mario. It was my friend Fatal Foxtrot, who's also a Patreon of mine. He's also a Twitch streamer. We were talking about if you compare platformers to FPSs, then Mario is like Quake and Sonic is like Unreal Tournament. Because often I feel like Unreal Tournament is more of a chance game than a skill game. And Quake is more of a skill game. And he was just like,
but sure.
yeah, that's controversial, but I agree. So I dare, come fight me. Anyone who loves Unreal Tournament. Just not in Unreal Tournament because there's a 50-50 chance I'll win because it's just fucking random. There you go.
Whoa. That's fighting words.
Them's party word. I'm getting into this shit.
You wanna, you'll probably wanna reset here because we're gonna call it a day here because we've been going for over an hour.
Yeah.
All right. I'll just reset.
Commentary.
Yeah, just to reset your thing.
Manny says from earlier conversation, was it Cornhub?
Cornhub.
Yeah.
I think someone made that site as a joke because there was like a big thing about corn on PlayStation. They had like a special background you could set that was like rotating flaming corn that was like glistening.
What?
And so like for a while it like got funny just to like say stuff with corn and pictures of corn online. I don't know.
For the lead.
I love coming into a conversation just sort of out of the blue like that. I
Corn,
love
right?
saying
Corn
things
is great.
with corn.
Corn started to become a little bit of a meme, but like it didn't really catch on.
I'm
like
looking at
mass.
the other comment here that I wanted to point out in reference to your earlier conversation. The guy looking at his the autofill. He says a good thing it wasn't quote nude Space Quest story in autofill. That one might have been slightly awkward if he just was like, no, whatever.
Yeah.
I've never had fan art. Well, I've had a couple, but those were made by friends, so they don't count. I sincerely,
This guy's had some fan art, and I've seen it. And it's kind of like,
there's Rule 34.
Clean and wholesome. There was nothing silly about it.
it was like, here's your signature black T-shirt. Check it out. And I was like,
I wore that black T-shirt around a lot during the Volition days. Okay, I'm wearing a black T-shirt now, but it's not the V-neck, so
yeah.
it's not the singing.
So it was a little bit strange. I'm like, okay. I was like, I guess you've really made it as a streamer when you have like your own fan art.
All right, so this is probably a good time here to call it a day.
Wait, just a second. Did you just say you're not a successful Twitch streamer unless you have some Rule 34 to your name?
I would say that's a definite. Of all the signs that you know you've made it, I would say that's definitely one of them.
Yeah. You know what? Those are words to live by. Those are very good words to end a stream on, actually, Alexander. And if I may be so bold to suggest. That is fucking wisdom right there.
That's how I know I haven't made it yet.
I'm gonna take credit for that.
We've kind of been saying this for a while, and before we started this whole enterprise, almost 2 years ago now, when he explained, when I was like, what would it be to be part of this company? He's like, well, public face of it means you go to conventions, you talk about the product, you meet people, you introduce them to what we're doing, try to make contacts, and then we do streams, and you'll be on a stream, and you'll play games, and you'll talk to people in front of audiences and stuff. And I'm like, so what's this like? He's like, well, I did it for Volition. I'm like, they made like fan art of you and stuff. He's like, well, that can happen sometimes. And I'm like, I don't want to be like somebody's Rule 34. I really don't. That's the last thing. He's like, well, that's probably going to happen.
that is a
occupational hazard, yeah.
It's an occupational hazard. Before I could have been like burned to death or crushed. Now I'm just going to have porn made of me.
Well, it's either that or it's erotic fan fiction. One comes first. Depends on whether you get in with the Tumblr crowd or the Reddit crowd.
I think the fan fiction will probably come first, just because we're a story-heavy based game. We play a lot of story games. Our characters are meaningful. Sergeant Pearson is loved by lots of people out there. She's a meaningful character in the story. All these things.
Are you talking about the upcoming Rule 34 stories loved by many, or is it
Starship Commander?
Yep.
Sergeant Sarah Pearson. She plays Sergeant Sarah Pearson.
Right.
And it's.
Oh yeah, but I was just making a really crass and inappropriate joke.
Whoops.
He's all business right now. He's all business.
I know.
Do that shit.
I'm a terrible person. You should never have reminded me.
You said Starship Commander. My ears are like, Starship Commander is a.
He goes into sales mode like, let me tell you all about Starship Commander.
Yeah, let me tell you all about this game that I'm making.
Have you accepted Starship
You should
Commander?
have pins that say, ask me about Loom, and then crossed out and Starship Commander under it.
Yes! We need to make those. We need to make pins for that. Like these big buttons.
I sense a lawsuit, but sure.
I'm absolutely sure Ron Gilbert and company would be cool with that.
But just remember, who owns Loom?
Who does?
A lot of people, apparently.
That was LucasArts. Sold to Disney.
So anyway, that was our stream. Thanks for watching us. We are Human Interact. Today we had our special guest here, Trolls. Space
Trolls the Potty Mouth.
McGee.
Who kind of trolled the stream a little bit, actually. See what I did there?
Oh, wow, funny.
Tell us what you're doing. What's the next thing? How can we see more of what you're about?
After this, would anyone want to? All right.
I do.
I have a YouTube channel over at youtube.com/SpaceQuestHistorian. I do 4 weekly Let's Play videos and 2 live streams. And I also dabble in some game development, just on a hobby basis, really. I was involved with StairQuest, that's not a lie. I was also a writer on Serena, a game that came out a while back. It was free on Steam. And I photographed my cats for one Adventure Jam experiment. That turned out very weird. But yeah, that's pretty much my thing. I'm very passionate about adventure games and apparently potty mouth humor. So check that out. Follow me on Twitter at SQHistorian. Shit's always flying out of my mouth there. That's cool.
Woo! All right,
Hey, that was long-winded as hell.
I'm gonna link to these already in the chat here.
Oh, wait a minute. My friends are going to kill me if I don't say. Also, check out backseatdesigners.com. That's a podcast about game design, but from a player's perspective. So we invite game designers and then tell them how to do their job. You're welcome to join at any time.
I might want to do that, but I'd have to hold my tongue and not be like, okay.
Like,
there is no holding of tongues. So yeah, we're gearing up for our 5th season, starting in probably February of next year, and it's gonna be fun. We've had like Chris Jones of Tex Murphy, we had John Romero and Tom Hall, and a bunch of other cool people on the show. So we're hoping that season 5 won't suck abysmally.
the question Tegan Jeff says, is Starship Commander coming to good old games?
I don't know. I can't. The only platforms we've confirmed so far are Oculus Store and Steam Store.
It is a VR game after all.
Yeah, it's a VR game, so
Right.
it would make sense. Like, I don't know if any VR games are being sold on GOG at all.
I don't know.
That's like something we haven't even like looked into. But by the time 2018 rolls around, we'll probably be like investigating all those things. So
For those of you who are new, you want to throw our website up there?
about
Our website.
about our website? Yeah,
Yeah.
sure, yeah. Oh, Doom fans, go check a look at our website. It's human-interact.com.
Will there be an Atari ST version of Starship Command?
We'll see. TBD.
There was a disturbing long pause there.
I was like,
Hold on, it was like after world domination, can we make a port of it?
I don't
Stand by.
Well, we'll see. We gotta hit some milestones first.
Anyway, thank you for coming to the Doom stream. Tomorrow we are going to be streaming at the usual time. Pay attention, guys. The usual time, which is 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern. We're going to blow it out. Bring all your friends. Tell everybody you got to play Doom with these guys. Having a lot of fun. And
Bring your mom. I know she loves it.
yeah, bring your mom. She's probably going to be fun at Doom.
Player holds 64 server, or the server holds
Yeah,
64 players.
64 players. So like, we're all gonna just pile in there and have like the big frag fest, and who knows, maybe I'll turn off spawn protection or something.
It's gonna be a mess. It'll be great.
And then look at us. We're Human Interact. We stream obviously every Friday. Big Doom stream tomorrow. Don't miss it. We make a game called Starship Commander. You can take a look at it, human-interact.com, or if you're watching this on YouTube, just take a look in the related videos. You'll see our trailer there for Starship Commander. It's got Sophie's face on it. Can't miss
Hi.
it. And as always,
Commodore 64 version coming soon.
Commodore 64 version. And as always, if you want to know when we go live, hit that like, follow, subscribe button. Post a comment, tell us what you like about what we're doing. And if you got any game requests, let us know.
Yep.
So that's it. That's our stream for today. We will see you tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern, where we will be doing the big Doom pile-on.
Ew.
All right, guys.
Why,
That's the word.
if it's going to be a big human pylon, why not set the limit to 69 players instead of 64? I think that's a missed opportunity.
I'd probably have to recompile the server.
Bugger. All right, never mind. I'll shut up now.
It's a hard limit on the server.
Oh, dear, you just did it again. Oh, the innuendo, how it keeps flying.
That's your mind working. That's your mind working in overdrive.
It's getting a bit late over here, I think.
All right, guys, we'll see you tomorrow. Have fun.
All right, bye, guys.
Bye.
Cheers. Thanks for having me on. That was very nice of you.
See you tomorrow.